Hello everyone and welcome back to the New York Empoleon's Week 5 team builder of the CGT. We are here this week taking on just Lucas, coach of the Hellblaze Volcaronas. If you have not seen them before, go check out their channel. Link is in the description below, as are all the coaches in the CGT this season. Of course, again, there's too many coaches for me to battle all of them, so there's a lot of good coaches that I am not actually going to get the chance to face during the regular season, so definitely check those out in the description. Now, I am not starving. I am not thirsty. I mean, I'm thirsty, but I'm not dehydrated. And we are actually late for the battle. So I'm going to try to get this done literally as fast as possible. For the quick update about my arm, it's not fully healed yet, but it's better. There are certain motions that hurt it, but the range of motion is back, and at rest, it's pretty much fully healed. So we're on the up and up. Not quite there yet, but it's getting there. Anyway, my opponent's team, which, you know, I probably should have pulled up before I started this recording, but we're here now, is Jolteon, Blacephalon, Darmanitan, G, Gourgeist, Mandibuzz, Dracovish, Klefki, Chansey, Hippowdon, and Quagsire. So it is a half hella offensive team and half incredibly bulky stall team, which is interesting. It's not like a mixed balance offense. It's literally just like Blaze, Darm, G, and Dracovish like go in, and then it's just like Mandy, Klefki, Chansey, Hippowdon, Quagsire who just like chill. So we have sort of a half bulky team and half incredibly offensive team, and hopefully it matches up well against this roster, because we really do need to start getting some wins here this season. Obviously last week I think we still had a chance. It was never going to be a guarantee, but at least we had a chance. But unfortunately I was playing very slowly, so my brain working faster today. Don't know if you can tell based on the excitement here. Anyway, we're starting off with the Alolan Persian here, which is going to be Knockoff, Parting Shot, Toxic, and Taunt. This set does a lot of work here. It stops the Hippowdon from setting up rocks, stops the Chansey from doing much of anything. Toxic is super useful for all of those walls, and just generally good. Yes, Klefki could switch into this, but it's immune to Prankster moves, which means I'm not getting Thunder Waved by the Klefki. And yes, again, Klefki could potentially set up screens or something, but I'm not overly stressed about that. Parting Shot, obviously super helpful throughout the week, throughout this battle, and then Knockoff is just good. We are a Fur Coat with leftovers and defensive, with some speed, obviously, to try to outspeed everything that we need to outspeed, namely things like Blacephalon. But mostly this is just a bulky mon this week. It takes a Vicious Rend from a Dracovish, and sand damage doesn't kill it from there, so I can fire off a Knockoff, get rid of maybe a Choice Band, or a Parting Shot, or a Toxic, whatever I need on the Dracovish at that time. You're going to notice Toxic is something of a trend this week, because I need ways to break these walls, period. That's it. I would not call this a Toxic stall team, but Slow Bros here, it's max HP, max defense, Rocky Helmet, Slack Off, Toxic, Protect, and Psychic. And I went with Psychic over Scald just because it's a little bit more spammable overall. Arguably, Psyshock would have been a good choice too because of Chansey, but Toxic is my main way of dealing with things like that. Protect is there for sand turns. It's there for scouting choiced items like Darm G or Dracovish, or even Blacephalon, just to scout out what they're going to get. What move they're going to lock themselves into, so I can maybe react to it. Slack Off is there as a great way to heal back damage. If it's Life Orb Dracovish or Scarf Dracovish, it's not 2 KOing me with any move, so I'm going to be able to slack off any damage. I've got Regenerator, so I can handle things. Protect will help me again, stall out sand turns, or add up Toxic turns either way. This thing is my bulkiest mon. It's my best answer to most of the offensive threats my opponent could present to me, so I decided I had to bring it this week because those offensive threats otherwise just rip through my entire team. Next up is Whirlipede, and so we've got Toxic, and Toxic Spikes, because again, as much as I don't think this is a Toxic style team, it's a strategy I feel like I have to employ against this offense and defense core. I'm just not even sure how else to handle it. T-Spikes, Protect, Endeavor, Hex. Protect is there again to scout out moves, stall turns of sand, etc. Endeavor seems really interesting. I am Sash, not Eviolite, and if I can get T-Spikes up and then they attack me and I can get to +1, maybe +2 with Protect, you know, shenanigans. Endeavor brings them down to 1, T-Spikes kills them. Or Sand, depending on what the mon is. So, that was what I was going for. And then I threw Hex onto the last slot. I don't know, I just needed a way to hit Blacephalon. That's really it. This doesn't do a whole lot to Mandibuzz outside of, you know, Endeavor weakening it. But that said, if Mandibuzz comes in and it's, you know, I can just go in for an Endeavor, and it maybe goes for a Brave Bird to try to kill me off. It just dies to recoil, stuff like that. So We do have speed boost. I could have gone poison point. That would have been pretty funny, but ultimately I decided to go speed boost on this because I do think the speed is going to be helpful. We aren't really running any defensive investment because focus sash is sort of supposed to be there to help us deal with that. Sand is annoying, but hazards I think I have a little bit more managed. Next up is my Zapdos, Galarian Zapdos here this week. Brave Bird is incredibly spammable. The only real switch in is Klefki, and that thing doesn't love switching in to attacks, especially not like Thunderous Kick. And I do have the U-turn as well for early in the game for things like the Hippowdon that could be physically defensive, and Rocky Helmet and all these good things. So U-turn gets me in and gets me out. I am Scarfed, so I'm outspeeding Darmg. I am also outspeeding non-Sand Dracovish, even if it's Scarfed. I don't outspeed Scarf Blacephalon, but that's what it is. I'm just... assumedly, Specs Blacephalon does so much damage that I don't even know if it will be Scarfed, and it outspeeds this by nature. So the stabs on this were so spammable, I just could not bring it. U-turn is just good utility in the back, just in case. If I can get the Blacephalon to go down, then I can spam fighting moves. If I can get some of the mons that I need to click Brave Bird against to go down, then maybe I can spam... Or, sorry. Get some of the mons I need to spam fighting type moves against. I can spam Brave Bird a little bit more freely, like Klefki. Next up is my Scarfed Heliolisk. Again, double Scarf, triple Toxic. We're having a good time here. This team is, again, sort of mimicking what my opponent's team is doing. It's all over the place. But this outspeeds Blacephalon and just Volt Switches for free against everything not named Jolteon. Hyper Voice hits the Jolteon incredibly hard. Hyper Voice also helps me against things that, like Hippowdon, Grass Knot, and Quagsire. Grass Knot and Quagsire, wow. Hippowdon and Quagsire die to the Grass Knot as well, so we can have that coverage if we need it. I decided that was better than Surf, mostly on the grounds that Surf doesn't hit Dracovish, doesn't hit Quagsire. And just wasn't really that great of a move. So we're going to be spamming attacks. This is the fastest thing on the field, assuming it's not Scarf or Quick Feet Jolteon. And we will be able to just Volt Switch freely for the most part throughout the match. And if I need to click Grass Knot or Hyper Voice on a read, I can do that as needed. I know Hippowdon doesn't love switching in to Heliolisk, which is really nice because it keeps the ground type out of my way to Volt Switch freely, even if it's still alive. And if the Hippowdon does switch in, I have answers to that as well, so I'm not as stressed about it. Lastly is Cosmic Power, Stored Power, Toxic, Roost, Xatu, and I tried to run Dazzling Gleam in the last slot, but then Chansey 100% walled me. I tried to run Psyshock, but then Mandibuzz 100% walled me, so Toxic hits Mandy and Chansey. I don't really feel any other need to click it. This thing sets up on all the walls. It is weakness policy for Foul Play Mandibuzz, Foul Play Klefki, then it can't be hit by Poltergeist from Gourgeist. If once the weakness policy pops, they can get one hit off with the Poltergeist, which I can live if I can get a Cosmic Power or two up. It literally sets up on Klefki forever, gets to +6 on Klefki. Klefki cannot hit it with anything. And then Stored Power goes nuts, and Toxic can help wear down the Mandibuzz over time. I can't be Toxic because of Magic Bounce, so it can't be worn down that way. And if I just have to Roost Toxic Stall, I'll do it with this Xatu. I'm not above it this week. I hate it. I'm not happy about it, but I do not have other answers to these walls this week. And I decided I was going to go with a little bit more of a bulkier style of build as opposed to a more offensive build with this Xatu. So Stored Power is only doing so much, especially if I don't get the weakness policy pop. So if Mandibuzz is in and it's clicking Foul Play or whatever, and I just need to Roost for a while and Cosmic Power, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to not do it. And once I'm at enough health, or at enough like boosts, Blacephalon, specs Blacephalon to a +6 Xatu, it barely gets 50% on a Shadow Ball. Darmg gets about 35% to max defense +6 Xatu with an Icicle Crash. So this thing can sit in if it can set up, and it can set up on all the walls. If I can get to +1 and haven't taken any damage yet, I can live any one hit from anything other than specs Blacephalon. Scarf Blacephalon I can live. Darmg I can live. Dracovish I can live if I'm at +1 from Cosmic Power. So I can take a hit and throw out a Toxic if they do decide to immediately switch out expecting a Cosmic Power Xatu. Once I get to +2 or +3, I can continue to set up on most of those mons using Roost turns and stuff like that. So hopefully this works. This is sort of the not the backup plan. It's sort of the primary plan with the couple of Scarfers to like clean up after whatever Xatu does, it does. It can't be used on like turn 1, which is why I have a bunch of walls with Toxic, because I want to get everything into range of Xatu. That's the plan. Anyway, I will see you guys all back here for that battle. I try not to keep my opponent waiting too long, but I definitely talked longer than I meant to. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.